what I remember thinking, like, when it first started, that opening song from Lizzo, I think it's called Pink, and like we are seeing kind of like Barbie come to life in Margot Robbie. I remember thinking like, oh, and I leaned over to my friend who I was with and said like, oh, this feels like present day Legally Blonde. Right. It feels like the beginning of a film franchise like that, where she is pink and blonde and like coming from one place into another, coming from like one era into another, or one kind of like lifestyle into another. And like it felt like a franchise being built. And you said you didn't see it that way.
No, I get that you see it that way, to be clear, right? Because it has those elements. And let's be real, so many films, especially the films that, are part of these like major properties, they're made, right, in a way to where they can pick up, and do another one, particularly if it's successful. But I guess for me, I was like, how do you recapture this particular moment in a way that would make another movie, as profitable? Because another movie is going to be more expensive because they're going to try to, ratchet everything up. And so I could see it. Once you said it, I could see that idea of the franchise ability, if you will, of this movie. But I don't think I want to see that personally. But again, I think I'm in the minority when it comes to the craze around it.
Yeah, I think that there's so many other stories I can tell. Like, the reason I was thinking that at the very beginning was because there's kind of like a Barbie universe, right? With all of these different characters, all of these different versions of Barbie. I think one of the things that was interesting to me and the friend that I was with, we both kind of like said to each other, like, I would love to see this script because all of the Barbies are named Barbie, right? And like hey Barbie, hey Barbie, hey Barbie, hey Ken, hey Ken, hey Ken, hey Ken. I was like curious about that, but I was also thinking about the ways that the Barbies, there's President Barbie, there's Dr. Barbie, there's Lawyer Barbie, there's Stereotypical Barbie, there's Barbie, 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 Barbie. And I was like, oh, there's got to be a lot of other interesting stories that could be told here if they came up with this. I also just appreciated Barbie's like level of self-awareness that I wasn't necessarily expecting. There was like an awareness of like her being dated and in some kind of ways irrelevant, or not necessarily having as much relevance now as she did when she came out. But also like I appreciated that they talked about like this doll, this figure, this image, this message also has done harm, right? And like I just thought there was an interesting thing happening with like them telling this story of Barbie coming into the world and recognizing like that things were different and that she hadn't had the impact that she thought she did. And as I watched it, I was like, oh, stereotypical Barbie is white women, right? Like, or most of them, right? Like, I think stereotypical Barbie is what we saw white women going through in 2020, of being like, oh, I did this. Oh, I've had that impact on people. Oh, my words did that. Oh, my projections about beauty and a lot of that has come from men, right? But a lot of it has come from white women specifically. And I thought that Barbie was representative of what we saw from white women over the last few years. And it wasn't surprising that this kind of story would come out in 2023 in the way that it has.